Welcome into Extra Time, as always. Thank you for your questions via Twitter. Stevie, Craig, Frank Leboeuf and Gab Marcotti also with us, which means we have two former Premier League defenders in our midst, which leads me to our first question. Praveen wants to know, has the number of quality defenders dropped in the last decade? He didn't specifically say Premier League, but let's just say...
Absolutely. 100%.
I thought you might answer in the affirmative.
Well, think about it. You know, your fullbacks are the classic example. You know, yeah. in our era, fullbacks primarily the job was to defend, and then getting forward and contributing was a bonus. Now it's the complete opposite, it seems, because your two fullbacks are standing way up on the halfway line when the ball's in their own box. So the game's been pushed towards that, to be honest.
You think back to that era that you played in as well, Craig, that Arsenal defence, that United defence, that Liverpool defence, they were all rock solid.
Well, Arsenal was a proper back four, and it never budged with Lee Dixon on one side and Nigel Winterburn on the other.
Yeah.
And I mean, and they got forward a little bit, but not. I mean, fullbacks are now almost, Stevie said, fullbacks are wingers. Some of them are even tucking into midfield whilst the game's going on. So that's just the way it's gone.
Yeah. Frank, would you concur? Number of quality defenders has decreased. Go on.
Yes, I think a lot, and for the same reason. I think mostly because they want to have the possession of the ball. They don't think about defending, and we can talk about Manchester City, where even if you have good defenders like Aymeric Laporte, for example, the main quality that you have is how you give the ball to the midfielder or to your striker. How do you serve the team offensively and not mainly defensively? And it's true that before, I mean, the guys, they were so strong, you know, as you mentioned, you know, defenders from Arsenal, Tony Adams, for example, Steve Nicol from Liverpool, but also Marcel Desailly with me at Chelsea. I mean, the guy was absolutely fantastic, but I can name also everywhere in the world, you know, Baresi and Costa Curta in Milan. I mean, they were fantastic defenders. Now it's hard to find a real great defender, except maybe Ramos, I would say, or Van Dijk, maybe, or maybe Koulibaly in Naples, sorry. But otherwise, the few very strong defenders, yeah.
But Gab, moving on. Assad wants to know: will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer survive until the new year, as things are already looking very doomed? In his words.
I mean, if he loses every game, I would imagine he's gone. But I mean, the reality is, United seem to be fully backing him for what's looking like a transition year. That's why they've, as I wrote in my column today, that's why they let go of a whole bunch of veteran players. They're trying to clear the decks. They're trying to extend younger players. Talk of Mason Greenwood being very close to a new deal. It makes no sense to fire Solskjaer if you're gonna do that. So, no, I think you'd have to screw it up pretty bad to be gone during the season. End of the year, different story.
Craig, what's your sense of this?
Yeah, I agree. I think barring a real disaster, they will not make any quick decisions, because that's not what United do in this current climate. They haven't made generally quick decisions, and. But long term, he'll be replaced.
He's definitely keeping the seat warm, isn't he?
Yeah.
For somebody.
Yeah.
Actually, can I ask Gab a question?
Go on.
Gab, seriously.
Put a hashtag ahead of it.
Is it Guingamp, Gangon, or is it something else?
Maybe Frank can weigh in on that as well.
I believe it's Guingamp, but I love the fact that you're asking me when you have a real live Frenchman on the show.
Yeah. Frank, give us the pronunciation.
I never thought of that.
I didn't get anything.
How do you pronounce that team in Brittany that starts with a G and has another G and it ends with a P, and there's an O in there?
Guingamp.
Gangon.
Well done.
That's it?
Yeah, which one?
Bravo, Guingamp.
Gang
There you go. You
I
had
tell
it
you
all.
what, it's absolutely brilliant that Stevie has gone to an Italian American who's lived in Japan and England and all over the world, and there's a French national sat there.
Frank, back to you. What did you think of both PSG and Chelsea's Champions League draw? Were you happy?
Yeah, I'm quite happy. I mean, Paris Saint-Germain with Real Madrid is going to be, I think, okay. Even if Galatasaray, who just got Falcao, it's never easy to play there because of the atmosphere. But against Bruges, it's going to be all right. And Chelsea, I'm confident. And the Ajax lost many players. Lille is a good team, but not as good as Chelsea. And I forgot the last team, but I think Chelsea will be okay and go through.
Okay. Myra Taylor, which is a very suitable last name considering the question is asked, what were your preferred attires on game days? Suits or training gear? The trackies or the full penguin suits?
Well, it's kind of, well, here's the thing. It's a lot easier if everybody just gets given trackies, trainers, same top and all the rest of it. But again, back in the day, you used to wear your own suits. And so every Saturday morning before you got on the bus to go, if you were in an away game, or every Saturday when you walked through the doors of the club, everybody couldn't wait to take the mick out of something you had on. If you had dodgy shoes or dodgy pants or dodgy ties or anything.
Right.
So it was just another way of taking the mick out of each other, wearing suits.
It was before the days of the
before
club
the days
suits where everyone was.
Yeah, everyone had their own gear. Aye.
We used both.
Did you?
All the clubs, yeah. Tracksuits.
Depends what the manager wanted, yeah.
Yeah, it did depend what the manager wanted. Tracksuits with the same polo top.
Yeah.
Or your own gear. But generally when we travelled away from home, it was tracksuits. You know, because you're on the bus for a few hours, then you're in the hotel, then you're in the bus, so a bit easier.
Yeah, imagine Glenn Hoddle was a tracksuit guy.
I can't remember. Does he look like a tracksuit guy to me? Was it some?
I think he used to wear tracksuits on the side. It's been so long since he's been on the side.
Oh, you're going back to the old Swindon days, aren't you?
Frank, Jack wants to know, I don't know how he knows this, but Jack wants to know, what shirt are you wearing today? Talking of attire.
I hopefully Stevie for sure, but Craig will recognize that guy. The guy is from Brazil. He was a captain of Brazil in the 80s.
Oh,
Socrates.
Socrates,
got it?
Yeah. The doctor.
Well done. Socrates, the doctor.
Socrates. The doctor. Nice.
Yes, well done, guys. Yeah, a legend.
He was a legend.
What a player he was. Remember that 82 World Cup, that Brazilian team?
Yeah.
Wasn't it spoiled with the striker?
Yeah.
Serginho.
Serginho.
They had some good players.
It's funny, now he shows that T-shirt, it's obvious what it is. If it had been yellow, I think it would have been totally obvious.
People.
Well, it's just nice of Frank to dress up.
It could be his countryman that talks about the fish and the sea and everything.
Right.
What's his face?
Yeah. What is his face?
Eric.
Eric Cantona, yeah.
Eric Cantona.
Yeah, it could have been a Cantona shirt. Beard would need to be a bit more shaggy, I guess.
No.
All right, fair enough.
Not a Cantona shirt. Gab, start us off on this last question. Brent wants to know, what's your favourite American holiday?
Ooh.
Philadelphia.
Favorite specifically?
Has to be an American holiday.
And has to be a real one. It can't be like Festivus or something like that, yeah? I would imagine it's probably Labor Day because that means football season's around the corner.
Oh, I thought you meant. I picked it up
I
wrong.
was thinking destination.
I thought you meant destination. That's why I said Philadelphia, because he's an Eagles fan. I do.
Classic misunderstanding. Holiday, vacation.
The answer is everyone.
Yeah.
Although we
All of them
we don't recognise it as a job because we just
Labor Day
we just soldier on.
Yeah. Means more labour, doesn't it? But
is Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving.
You got to say Thanksgiving.
Well, yeah. Why not Christmas?
Christmas is pretty good. Well, is that an American holiday? I mean, everyone.
No. Well, they have Christmas in America.
Yeah, but it's not
American holiday, isn't it?
It's not specific.
All right. I'd still say Thanksgiving. Shaka and who else is on tomorrow? Ali. You two are not.
I am.
You get the day after Labor Day off.
I'm on tomorrow.
Oh, you are? All right. We have to.
Although the schedule this week has been a disaster.
Yes. Pick a name from a hat. We'll be back tomorrow.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPNFC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.